Okay, we have Eleanor the Great from Sony Pictures Classics. This film is Scarlett Johansson's directorial debut, written and executive produced by Tory Kamen. It follows the story of Eleanor, played by June Squibb. When Eleanor's best friend passes away, Eleanor finds herself having to move to New York City to be close to her daughter and nephew. Suddenly, she's adrift and lonely. Then she is accidentally invited to a Holocaust survivors group, and she meets wonderful new friends, only it's all built on a lie. So with us virtually, June Squibb in the role of Eleanor, and please welcome to the stage writer and executive producer Tory Kamen. Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. We're going to take a look at a clip of Eleanor the Great.
Great.
Thank you.
Hey, you okay?
Who am I? Who am I anymore?
You're my mother. And you always will be. You know that I love you, no matter what happens.
You're putting me in a home, aren't you?
It's not a home. It's a place I know you'll be safe.
Safe from what? Safe from what, Lisa?
I don't want to fight. Aren't you tired of fighting?
I love fighting. I want to fight. Let me keep on fighting.
Mom, let me help you. This is good.
Why don't you go out anymore, Lisa?
No, that's over.
Why over? You look at a picture of yourself taken 10 years ago, and how do you look?
Amazing.
And what did you think when that picture was taken?
I was just a hot mess. I'm awful.
You wasted all that time thinking you looked bad when you looked gorgeous.
Ma, why didn't you tell me that before?
I don't know. I should have.
So beautiful, so many good laughter, crying, everything moments in this film. June, you signed on to this before Scarlett Johansson was even directing. What was it about Tory's script that made you think, I need to play Eleanor?
Well, it was a lovely, lovely script. She's a very good writer. And I just found all of the different emotional qualities that she had given Eleanor just made it fascinating to me. And as you read, and then something else came up about her that was very different. And so I just loved her. I just felt this is something I really want to do.
Something I really loved about the representation of the experience of getting older is that Tory's script never, ever made fun of that. It was so respectful. Was that part of the attraction as well in some ways for you, June?
Oh, yes, because I really, if age is laughed at or, made a joke, I just don't want to have anything to do with it. For me now, especially, I just want the reality of age, of what you go through as you age.
Tory, I love the story of how this script came to be written.
Oh, thanks.
It's so beautiful. I know, your own grandmother was called Eleanor, spelt differently.
Spelled differently, yes, but...
And she had a best friend, like Eleanor in the film, called Bessie, who was also, like in the film, a Holocaust survivor.
Yeah.
in the film, Bessie is played by the amazing Rita Zohar, who was actually born in a concentration camp.
Yes.
Can you talk about how the story came to be and how you knew you wanted to write about something based on your own grandmother?
Yeah, of course. But first, I just want to say I haven't talked to June in a minute. And June, happy belated birthday. Your
Thank
birthday was
you.
last week.
96,
Last week,
right?
yes.
I wasn't going to say the age, but
Sorry.
yes, 96.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. June's 50. How did this story come to be? Well, I was at USC studying screenwriting. It was my first year of graduate school, and I needed an idea, and I didn't have one. But my grandma, Eleanor, was 95, and she'd moved to New York the same month I moved to LA. And I made friends very easily. I was 23. And nice. And my grandma found that it was really difficult to make friends at 95. She moved into a one-bedroom by herself and just wanted a new lease on life, and it was hard, and so we would talk every night. We used to Skype before Zoom, and she talked about how she felt like a novelty and how nobody cared about her present tense, and I thought, what must that be like, and what could she do to get attention? And I thought of this. The worst possible thing my grandma could possibly do. She would never do that. She would haunt me from my grave if I let anybody think that. But yeah, and then I started writing it. I wrote it in grad school. It was the second script I wrote. And from there I started working as a professional writer, but this is the script I always cared about. And I was pushing it up a boulder for so long. And I wrote it with June in mind because I had seen Nebraska and I thought this is the most brilliant performance I've ever seen, and this is the person that should play this role. And Scarlett Johansson came on and took that boulder and treated it like a pebble, and sort of we were on our way. It was amazing.
How did you feel when June signed on? Because it's amazing that you're in grad school, you're writing this thing, I think June Squibb would be the perfect person, and then here you are. It's amazing. I
do remember getting the email that said June would like to be in this, and I cried I had just woken up from a nap, so I thought that I was hallucinating. And then I saw the email, and I cried, I think, for 2 straight hours, to the point where when Scarlett came on, it was one tear, and I was like, well, I'm out of tears. I spent them all on June. It was extraordinary. It felt genuinely like the Hollywood moment of oh, my dream is coming true. That's what it felt like.
I know you told me that when you got the call that Scarlett had signed on, you were in a furniture store with your mum. Shout out to your mum, Lorna, who's here today.
I brought my mom here today. Yes, I was at West Elm with my mom. We were fighting over a rug, though she doesn't like when I say we were fighting. We were debating. And I got a call from my producer, and she said, Scarlett Johansson is going to direct and produce your movie. And I fell back on one of those show couches very dramatically. And my mom and I had a really nice cry. And then she told everybody in the store. And we went back to fighting immediately, and I bought the rug. Yeah.
Oh, June, what Tory just said about her grandmother's experience of moving and finding it hard to make friends. I remember you telling me a story of how you had moved to LA.
Yes.
And had a similar kind of experience. And how did that influence your decision to play this role, and also how you played Eleanor?
Well, I think that that's a part of my life, and I think when you move, especially if you are older, it's difficult. And I'd lived in New York for 65 years, so it was a big change for me. Luckily, I had some friends there who I knew from New York and had moved out there, so that helped tremendously. But I think with Eleanor, every time I read something, it was like, oh God, I know exactly what she's going through. I know exactly why she's reacting in this way. It was so. I just felt, this is me. This Eleanor is who I am. So let's do it.
Well, thanks for doing it.
I also really enjoy the story of how you and Scarlett discussed how you would play Eleanor. I know that, you didn't need the walking cane. You had not used it for Thelma. And then
No.
you and Scarlett had a discussion over how to whether or not to use it for Eleanor and some of the details of how you were going to play her. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, the cane was funny because we were in their offices, off the producer's office, and I said, Scarlett, I've got my cane here, and I said I use it a lot, especially if I'm outside my apartment. And she said, let me see you walk without the cane. So I walked away, and she said, use the cane. So that's how the cane came about. That I think Scarlett and I had that kind of relationship from the beginning. It was just, whoop, we just said what we thought to each other completely.
Can you talk a little bit about that dynamic of her directing you? You've had, so much experience with so many different amazing directors. Can you talk about some standout features of working with Scarlett?
It was wonderful because she is such a fine actress. And I just felt that she knew exactly what I was doing all the time. I mean, it's like you don't have to say, hey, let's do it again, or hey, I don't need to do. She knew exactly where I was. I don't know how to explain it. It was like, and she says this too, we had a shorthand as actor director because of that. And that made it was so relaxing. The whole shoot was relaxing. And I just always felt she had my back. Boy, she knew exactly where I was going and what I was doing.
Well, for what it's worth, she told me that every single take you did was perfect.
Well, I think she found something in every take that she could use if she wanted to. And then she says that my fourth or fifth take is usually, pretty, the whole thing could be used. So, and I guess that's the way I work. I don't know.
Tory, one of the things that's incredibly beautiful about this film is the use of real Holocaust survivors in the Holocaust survivors group. They weren't actors, they were sourced from all over the tri-state area. Can you talk a little bit about how it felt to honor the legacy of the people behind this story?
It wasn't really a question of if we were going to hire actors or not. It was I had always intended in my mind's eye. It was like, well, we're going to get June Squibb, and I think that these survivors should be played by survivors should they want to, come with us. I did a lot of research. The Holocaust Museum, the Museum of Tolerance. I did a ton of that. And then we worked very closely with the Shoah Foundation. We brought the Shoah Foundation on as soon as Scarlett came on. That was the first thing that she wanted to do, and she had told me her plan to bring in Holocaust survivors, and it just felt like how June said that she and Scarlett were in lockstep. It just felt like Scarlett really understood what was going on here and what she wanted to do. And it kind of just felt amazing. I will say, we put this movie out, and the majority of people that I've been hearing from that have been reaching out to me are families of survivors or survivors themselves telling me that they loved the movie or what I got wrong or, that kind of thing. But it really has meant a lot. And I think it's meant a lot to I'm half Jewish, my dad is Jewish, and so to my Jewish side of the family, it's meant a lot. And it's been really great to kind of get to talk to survivors. It's not very often that a ton of Holocaust survivors are reaching out to you to tell you their story. It feels like a real gift and a blessing.
June, I want to talk a little bit too about something that everyone I've spoken to about this film commented on your energy and drive. And you yourself have said to me that you never tire of pursuing the next role, of acting, of perfecting your performance. What would you say is kind of the driving force for you of all of this energy and the continuing search that you have in your career?
Well, I think it's amazing that two films were written with a 90-year-old woman in the lead, and luckily I was there for both of them. I think Thelma and Eleanor the Great are sort of just, I don't know why it happened. I mean, we usually think of Hollywood or films with much younger women. And I do think it's changing. I think we now have a lot of leading ladies in their 50s and 60s. And this is great. I mean, I just think all at once we're coming more real. It's a whole sense of reality now as what film is dealing with age. And I think that's great. I do think our whole population is interested in age. We are an aging population. And I think so many people are frightened of it, don't know what it means, don't know what it entails, aren't living with their parents or grandparents, so they have no reference at all. So I think these films give them an idea. And again, I say I will not do anything that laughs at age. I just think, no, I won't do that. So this, I feel, is very real.
And
Both
just
of them have been.
one thing is that June, who turned 96 last week, is doing 8 shows a week on Broadway soon. That's why she's in New York. It's just like, it's insane.
It is insane. I'll agree with you.
June, it is insane. It's insane in a
Yeah.
really good way, but it's crazy. Yeah.
Well, that was just absolutely wonderful what you just said, June. I concur with everything about that. We do need to highlight women that are not just in their 20s and 30s, and I think this is a wonderful film. I just want to congratulate you both. I defy any one of you to watch this film and not laugh and cry at the same time. So congratulations,
Thank you so much.
both of you, for Eleanor the
Thank you.
Great.